I'd like us to talk about the issue of infrastructure, which is linked to manufacturing, because for these entrepreneurs, they will need power, they need good roads to move the product, to move from the farm, for those who are into agriculture, to the marketplace. Now, what level of infrastructure has your government put in place to enable this micro, small, and medium-scale businesses to grow, to thrive?
Well, in our development program, we have what we call the three-point agenda. One is the issue of peace and security. Okay. Two is the issue of infrastructure development, and the third one is the human capital development. Now, in the area of infrastructure development, we also have various boxes. First is the box of power. We have the box of transportation, and that includes roads, airports, seaports. We also have the box for ICT. We have the box for urbanization. So we have those boxes. Now, in the area of power, we've done a lot in power, working with the federal government. You know, the federal government has now divested from generation and the distribution of power and dealing with only transmission. We have keyed into divestment, this divestment in generation. We are part of the Ughelli power plant, regulated by Transcorp. We are part of the Sapele power plant. We are also part of the Benin Disco distribution, in terms of distribution. Also, we are dealing with our own independent power plant, which is at Ogara. And of course, beyond that, in the area of distribution, we've been involved in a lot of purchase of transformers and a lot of the equipment that are required for appropriate distribution. So we are doing a lot, we're investing a lot in the area of power, because without power, it's difficult for business, whether micro, small, medium, or even the large-scale businesses to survive. You know, most times, a lot of businesses use up to 45 to 50% of their running costs on power alone. So a lot is being done in the area of power. And with the aggressive nature the federal government is driving its power project or power programs, I believe that in the next few years, power, the challenges with power will be a thing of the past, and most of these businesses will do. And also in the area of transportation, in the area of roads, we have major highways that we are doing, and also we have very key rural roads that we are also dealing with across the states. Of course, there's a community called Ume in Isoko South local government area that it's a good example of trying to open up a rural area for economic development, because that community is a mainly agricultural community, but they were locked in for several years. Now we have constructed a road to the community, and we have a pact with the community that as we are giving you road, you also improve your agricultural products. So we have even started this program even in that community, you know, where we are encouraging them to farm and to produce it. So the issue of transportation, especially rural roads, is very key to this program. Of course, with this modern age of ICT, you must ensure that ICT as an infrastructure is properly developed, and we have our program, ICT program. So we have these programs, infrastructure programs, that we encourage investment at that level.
Okay, I understand that there's a bill that the House of Assembly has passed into law to enable the growth of SMEs here. What has been the achievement that have been recorded in that sector since this bill was passed into law?
Well, we just passed the bill, I think about 2-3 months ago. It's not quite long. But before then, we had the unit, the microcredit unit, run by Dr. Anthony Ashedu, which was in my office. I had to put it, you know, before then, we had microcredit programs in various ministries. So I had to pull them together under one umbrella, which Dr. Ashedu has been running, and has recorded a lot of these successes that we are talking about. But in moving forward, we needed to form this special purpose vehicle. First, that was one of the things requirements by the central bank. Then two, it was also to ensure that this program is not killed, you know, because if you don't have a legal framework for it, somebody coming next can just say, I'm not interested in this program. But the way the law is now, it will be difficult for anybody to put it aside. So it's called the Delta State Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Development Agency, which is an outfit that has a structure of its own. And like I said, it just started about 2 months ago. A lot of people are happy with it. They are embracing it. One of the achievements of that law is what we're here to do today. At Central Bank has seen that we have a special purpose vehicle that will protect their fund, and also protect the beneficiaries, and also protect the state. So with that law now, we are ready to go.
Now, what did your state government do to enable access to this fund? Because I understand only you and other states in the South has been able to gain access to it. What was special that you did to enable you access this fund from the central bank? And for those state governments who are yet to begin the process or who are having issues at the moment in accessing this fund, what do you tell them?
Well, we've had a relationship with Central Bank for over the years now. They've been coming to assess our micro credit program, and like you would have known, they give awards at the end of the year. We won it 3 times, and we just said this was getting too much, So, the truth is that Central Bank has been monitoring what we've been doing over the years, and so when they now had the opportunity of injecting more funds, it wasn't difficult to relate with us. Then, but the other thing is we already had a structure that was driving our microcredit program, which I think many states do not have. Like I said, in this state before, we used to have microcredit schemes in various ministries and various areas. I believe that is what is happening in many states. But if they're able to pull it together, to have a structure that can drive the process, and that is why Central Bank laid an emphasis on an SPV, a special purpose vehicle, which for us in our state is the Delta State Micro, Small, Medium Enterprise Development Agency. So that is one basic thing that the Central Bank was looking out for, and that is one thing we did. There must be a law, protecting the fund.
I like at this point to thank you, Governor Emmanuel Sashirinkoye, Executive. Okay, Governor Emmanuel Odoaha, the Governor of Delta State. Thank you for your time on Business Morning, and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And that's all we can bring away here on Business Morning. I want to thank everyone out there for taking out time to watch. We have been reaching you from Asaba, the Delta State capital, where the state government is launching the first phase of the 2 billion naira Central Bank's Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Fund for the state government. It's been an interesting conversation we've had here with officials of the Central Bank and of course officials of the Delta State government as well. Thank you for watching. I am Bolaji Akinwale.